All right, welcome to another daily market review. Today is Wednesday. Oh no, it's Wednesday, but this one is for Tuesday, February the 24th. So let's take a look at what happened with S&P 500 futures. Um, my take from yesterday was that the first possibility, the priority for me would be that we eventually go up and we go all the way to this level. And if and only if we do some kind of a chopping right in this area, which we didn't because we were actually lower, we were right beneath the level. If we did any kind of chopping right here, eventually on the third test or the fourth, fifth, we would break to the upside. We did not go that far up, we were just kind of chopping around here, which makes me think that there is still possibility that we will eventually sort of come here and then break all the way to 6,976. That's what I think. And then the other scenario, the second probability was that we will just range all the way here. We kind of did, but we did go a little bit lower, which I didn't expect. Here was a nice potential opportunity for a long right here on this level. That was a nice trade for whoever caught that. And then other than that, it would be just also nice just to get long here, and then hopefully you would close here. But again, whatever I'm sharing here, it's just my personal takes on the markets, not an investment advice or anything like that. So always manage your own risk, always be cautious, be vigilant, do your own research. This is just for educational purposes only. All right, what do I think is likely to happen from here? As I said, I think given this, probably gonna start to sort of crawl all the way here and then eventually just break. And I'm hoping to see this 6,976 sooner or later. It's possible that we could also take a breather here a little bit earlier at around 6,956. That's also, personally, for me, is a good area to take profit. If not, then hold for that. Then let's just quickly check the volume profile and see if there's anything I'm missing here. No, pretty much this is the big cluster that I'm looking at, the weekly, on the weekly volume profile, and this is where, in my opinion, price is likely to go from here. If not, then I think second possibility for tomorrow's action for Wednesday, February the 25th, in my opinion, would be just sort of testing this area, coming back, testing again, and trying to see if we can break this down. I don't think we can. And just coming back here and saying it's too early, or maybe eventually even still joining the party right here. So something like that. Let me turn this red. I think I always mark the one that's more to the downside, even if it's just sideways chop, but if it's not like straight up, then it would be red. And then if, let's say, my first possibility would be just down and this would be sideways, then that one probably makes sense for me to start marking just red, and then this one is green if there's no upside scenario. So that's that for S&P 500. Let's also look at VWAP. This was also a nice opportunity for me personally. Would be nice. I think I got long a little bit later around here, and then I just closed here because I didn't like the way this was chopping. So nothing crazy for me. And then yeah, this would have been a nice signal if you were into VWAP, if you were using that. I think personally, again, this is just my personal take, this is not an investment advice, but based on my experience, when it's chopping along the VWAP and then it comes back here, it's likely to eventually break it, and then you're looking to take profit somewhere here. Not you, me. And then let's also visit the SPY ETF. What happened is pretty much the same. First visited the downside, came to this level right here along the range I painted from yesterday, and then we tried to go all the way up to 691, but we stopped along the way here due to this resistance, and we still haven't touched this. So this would be test 1, this would be test 2. There is still no test 3, so it is possible that we could break out on the third test, but I would be more likely, I think it's more likely to see a breakout on the fourth test, or even on the fifth, most likely on the fourth. So maybe we get something like, let me get rid of the previous one, and I'll paint the new personal take I have from here. I think if we come here and then maybe chop, and then finally come all the way here, maybe even higher, maybe even 694. Who knows? If it's a strong trend day, could go all the way here, right? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. All right, let's paint these. I'll actually get rid of these for now, and then I'll paint this path, this possibility, this probability green. This would be my first take profit, and then this would be my final take profit if I get this. Let's see how it goes. And just like with S&P 500 futures, if not, then I would suppose it could do something, anything like that. Just stay in this range right here. Yeah, it's possible. And then with Bitcoin, yesterday I was talking about how I think that it's possible that we go all the way here, then at this level we get some kind of rejection, and only then we go higher. Instead, we went a little bit higher on the first go, got a slight rejection from here, from this, and then we didn't go as low as I thought, but we stopped right at this level right here. It's all on the hourly, so a little bit of an overshot, a little bit of a fake out, but it did give a nice opportunity to get long here. And then what do I think it's likely? It didn't follow the second path where we just range. What do I think the market, the BTC, is likely to do here? From here on, I think one path I see certainly is just continuing up, but in a slower fashion. So it would be a slow grind in my opinion. And then the other path I see potentially is that we just still do this sideways range. And I don't see it, just personally, I just don't see it shooting up from here all the way, right, immediately in a matter of days. I think it would be a slow grind coming all the way here, and then we decide tomorrow. So yeah, so that's that for BTC, and I covered the ETF, S&P 500, and the futures, and I'll upload another video tomorrow. Thank you.